Good morning, this is your 10 a.m. daily weather briefing, seeing a bit more in the way of sun since the earlier morning briefing with that mid-level cloud layer breaking up over the area. We have seen those temperatures warm up into the low 50s and still seeing some slightly breezy southerly winds out there. Should see a fairly quiet weather day ahead with just some slightly breezy conditions and mainly some high clouds around the area. We'll see more active weather moving into the area as we get into our Wednesday as a strong cold front pushes through. It's going to bring rain showers through the area, possibly seeing some heavier rain showers and even some thunderstorms pushing through. Another cause will be some very windy conditions with wind gusts up to 50 miles per hour. So active weather moving in for tomorrow. If we take a look at the current surface analysis, do have this area of high pressure continuing to move eastward. It's going to bring this tighter pressure gradient between that high pressure and this area of low pressure well off to the west. It's going to bring that in over our region. It's going to start to bring those breezy conditions in, starting slightly breezy today and increasing winds as we move overnight into tomorrow as this area of low pressure looks to track north of our region, but it's going to bring a cold boundary again through our area, and that's going to be the focal point of all of that active weather. If we look at the upper level winds from this morning, sounding west-northwesterly winds through the entire column with the exception of more of a southerly component closer to the surface. Our peak wind this morning was 53 knots at 25,000 feet, and the freezing level was at 5,700 feet. Taking a look at the current visible satellite, we can see that mid-level cloud layer has broken up a bit and moved off to the east, leaving mainly just high clouds around and just a few at that level continuing around the area. Overall, should see mainly high clouds as we go through the remainder of the day with some filtered sun, and then we'll see increasing mid and low level clouds as we go again towards our Wednesday through the overnight time frame. Take a look at the high res model here as we look at the next 48 hours. Again, dry conditions prevail as we move through the day today. Slightly breezy conditions as we move overnight. We will remain slightly breezy with those winds becoming breezy as we get into the start of the day on Wednesday with mostly cloudy to overcast conditions. We'll see a low-end chance of maybe a light sprinkle as we move through the morning hours, but the rain will actually hold off and move in as we get mainly between the 2 and 4 p.m. time frame tomorrow. As you can see on the simulate reflectivity here, quite an impressive line of showers pushing into the area. And again, we will see a chance of some embedded thunderstorms with this and possibly some heavier rain showers and possibly a chance of some severe thunderstorms pushing through as the Storm Prediction Center does have us under a slight risk for that severe weather threat. So good soaking of rain as these showers push through out ahead of it, and with those showers we will see again very windy conditions, seeing those peak winds gusting up to 50 miles per hour and could even see possibly stronger than that if we do get any of those potential severe storms to push through the area, bringing even stronger winds. As we go into the evening and overnight time frame, chance of some lingering showers around for the first part of the evening, continued breezy conditions, and then the shower activity should move off the coast as the front itself pushes through, again remaining breezy and some slightly more seasonable air moving into the area and setting up as we go into the day on Thursday. If we zoom out here, look at the European model, we'll end the week with dry conditions, but still feeling the influence with some breezy conditions through the day on Thursday, and likely continue to see some breezy conditions as we move into Friday, as well as that pressure gradient still stays on the tighter side. But overall dry as we move through the end of the work week. Going into the weekend, still a little bit of uncertainty with some disagreements with the modeling, but it does look like we could see some upper level energy swinging through as we move overnight into the day on Saturday, possibly bringing some light precip into the area, but does not look too significant if that is to occur. A similar story as we go into Sunday. We will see some cooler conditions settling in, more seasonable as we move into the end of the weekend, and we'll be watching a little bit of upper level energy swinging through, as well as this system well to our south. As you can see, the European model here does keep that well suppressed to the south, and just a slight chance of a few light showers to our north. Some other modeling showing a bit more of that precip making it further north into our area, so we keep an eye on that But again, still quite a bit of disagreements, kind of reducing the confidence in the forecast for the weekend at this time. But it does look like we'll start off next week with some dry conditions and fairly seasonable weather. So looking at the 24-hour weather risk chart for today, we do have a yellow risk for winds that are above 25 knots, although it does look like we will likely stay below that wind advisory threshold. We can't rule out the possibility of seeing a brief period of a wind advisory as we move through the day, expecting those winds out of the south 10 to 15 knots with peak winds up around 22 knots. We'll see our high temperature above average today, expected around 56 degrees, so about 6 degrees above our average high. And again, just seeing mainly high clouds around as we get into the afternoon with some filtered sun. And going into the evening, we'll see clouds on the increase once again. Will remain slightly breezy with winds continuing out of the south with peak winds up around 19 knots. And then those increase as we pass midnight as those additional clouds continue to build into the area. With that cloud cover and winds staying elevated, we'll keep our low temperature fairly mild with our low expected around 47 degrees, with temperatures actually slightly warming as we go into the start of the day on Wednesday. We do pick back up a yellow risk for winds that are above 25 knots and then up to an orange risk as we get into the start of the day on Wednesdays. It does look like a good chance we could start the day with a wind advisory with those peak gusts up around 26 knots. Tides are running normal, and for Wednesday, again, will be our active weather day of the stretch. We'll see cloudy conditions, slight chance of a isolated sprinkle or shower during the morning time frame, but again, bulk of the activity holds off till we get between the 2 and 4 p.m. time frame when we'll see that line of showers start to push into the area. Again, a chance for some heavier showers at times, chance for some embedded thunderstorms, and possibly even some strong to severe thunderstorms with that slight risk for severe weather from the Storm Prediction Center. We'll see windy conditions starting early and continuing through today and into the evening. Again, peak gusts expected up to 50 miles per hour and possibly maybe above that with any severe storm that potentially occurs. Mild day with a high around 59 degrees, so red for our precip risk there, red for those elevated winds, yellow risk for that thunderstorm chance, and yellow for those reduced ceilings and visibilities. We continue with similar conditions as we move into Wednesday evening with just a slight decrease in the precip chance, as it does look like we'll have a good chance of some lingering showers early for the Wednesday night time frame, but should see that pooling off the coast as we move through the night and into the early morning hours of Thursday. Mostly cloudy remaining through the time period there, and we'll start off windy with those lingering showers, and then we should see those winds decrease some, but still remaining breezy as we go into Thursday. Low expected around 45 degrees, and Thursday, main story will be breezy conditions continuing with some mostly cloudy skies and clouds decreasing late, but a more seasonable day with a high of 52 degrees. We continue with that red risk for those elevated winds. Looking at the extended forecast here, again, drives and move through the remainder of the work week here, seeing partly cloudy and slightly breezy conditions for Friday. Still fairly seasonable for our high around 52. Milder day as we move into Saturday, keeping a 20% chance of any precip activity in the area overall. Just seeing some increased clouds and breezy conditions, but with that upper level energy possibly moving through, just a 20% chance of that. That continues as we go into Sunday with that next chance of some upper level energy or possibly that area of low pressure to our south, but we'll see colder air seeping in with a high around 48 for our Sunday and still staying right on 48 to 50 degrees as we move into Monday with partly cloudy conditions to start next week. That's going to wrap up the 10 a.m. daily weather briefing. We'll be back again tomorrow at 8:15 and 10 a.m. Enjoy the rest of your day.